For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world.
Out of the Red Korner!
Yes, everyone, welcome back to Win the Red Korner podcast. Hope all's well. It's me, Ross. Had a nice little week off, not really doing much. And tonight, got Lou on and a couple of other special guests as well. So I'll bring Lou on now from the Fuse UK. Here he is. Yes, my man. How are you doing? You all right?
I'm all good, mate. How are you, bro?
Good, thank you very much. We had a good live last night, didn't we?
Yeah, mate. Nice one for coming on again. It was good, mate. It was good to have all the boys on and having a catch up.
Yeah, it was class. It was class. I've got one of the special guests in the background now. He's just sorting his camera out, I think. It's Chazza Simmons who fought Savarak, didn't he, at Crystal Palace? Hell of a performance against a little Frenchman. I'll bring him in now.
Chaz Wasserman.
Yeah. Here he is. Bad news. How are you doing? Are you well? Oh, man. Sounds like he can't hear us. Let us just send him a little message.
But yeah, people, got loads of fucking exciting events coming up, like, haven't we, for the BKFC? Can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good, exciting. It's not too far away now either, is it?
No, it's not too far away at all, mate. You've got Louis Lopez as well fighting for the title coming up as well, the interim.
Yeah, exciting. There's lots going on. Seems to be a show every week. I mean, majority of them are over in the USA, obviously, but it's good. Feldman's doing a great job. I've seen there was an interview saying that he's taken over the combat sports at the moment.
Yeah, I've seen that, mate. And USA Today News wanted something like that.
Yeah, here he is. He's back now in the background. I'll bring him in.
Yo, guys, what's going on?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Hey, long time, man. What's happening?
Yeah, thanks very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
No worries. What's going on? Yes, it's good to see you guys.
So you've been on holiday recently, haven't you? Do you have a good time?
Living my best life.
Was it Thailand you were in?
Yeah. So obviously, I went back home. I went to South Africa for a bit, and then after South Africa, I went to Thailand for a bit as well.
Nice.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So it looked like you had an absolutely amazing time.
Listen, it was well deserved. Come on, guys.
Man, that fight, that was awesome at Crystal Palace. I was just saying that the little Frenchman, Savarak, one hell of a tough dude, wasn't he?
Do you know what? He's an absolute gent. I must be honest. What an absolute nice guy, you know? He's a proper don't judge a book by its cover kind of guy. Do you know what I mean? Absolute gent, absolute warrior. He was definitely he was a game fighter. Listen, guys, let's be honest right now. I can tell you now, there's not many guys that would have gotten up off that first left hook. There's not many. I
was just gonna say there, how well he come back as well and recovered off that first knockdown, mate. Because that was clean, flush on the chin, wasn't it?
Really recover, but I jumped on him early, and then I got the second knockdown, and then again, I knew he was hurt, but the fact that he got up from that, for me, was like, that's absolutely a warrior. You know, that was just, that's heart of an absolute lion. Tough guy. And then obviously, I tried to finish it in the first round. I dropped him twice, therefore dropped him for the third time, and he got up from that. And then, saved by the bell. 4 seconds. I don't think the fight would have gone on much longer, but yeah, listen, hats off to him. The guy got up, absolute warrior. Yeah, man, we went second round. He took a devastating look.
He had some balls on him, I'll tell you that much, didn't he? You know, like you say, you knocked him down a few times.
Absolute zombie or something.
Definitely. Well, how did the injury happen? Was that from a punch or clash of heads or something?
No. That was from a punch. So I think from where I get it, like I was southpaw and I overextended. And as I did, I think he caught me. I think it was in the third round. That's when he wobbled me. I think that's when I caught my little like trip fall thing. He caught me when I overextended, so I left my ear open to the right hand and he clipped my ear. And then that wobbled me going backwards, had my equilibrium off a bit. So yeah, I was off balance. You know what I mean? So and then obviously I went into it, and then I fell down. But it's fine. It took me a matter of seconds to kind of recalibrate, get my stuff together, and then obviously just get back into it. I wasn't rocked. Listen, I was never rocked once in that whole fight. I was hurt once in that whole fight. So that's one thing I can say. Yes, the punches that I took, it looked worse than what it was because it's obviously it's skin on bone and on raw fist, at the end of the day. So anything that's going to touch you is going to cut you up, going to bruise you. So, I wasn't hurt once during that whole fight. I wasn't rocked once during that whole fight. Like I said, I got wobbled, but I wasn't hurt. My brain wasn't in any moment of the fight. I was still very kind of aware of what I was doing, what I needed to do. So, yeah.
I liked Savarak reactions at the end of the fight once he seen your ear and he was like, ah! It was unbelievable.
It's
like Alexa's going off.
Something you see every day.
I'm not sure about that.
I mean, what a weird kind of injury to get and have. You know what I mean? So everyone's like, were you in there with Holyfield or something? Did he bite your ear?
I liked it where after that first knockdown when he like sort of struggles to get up and he's like fighting it. What?
Are you, bro? Like honestly, shut, bro. Shut. All right, what an absolute nice guy, but yeah, man, absolute warrior. I mean, nobody.
So what's next for you then? Have you got any news you can share with us? What you got coming up?
Oh, before we touch on that though, I just want. It's so crazy though, because after the fight, I mean, he was like shocked as to what the decision was. I mean, if you see how many times I knocked him down, I won those points. I was far ahead on points. So, people were shocked. Oh, yeah, you just got that win. I was far ahead on points. It is what it is. I did enough to win that fight. You know what I mean? And then obviously, in those rounds out, obviously finding my range, finding my punches in and out. I was still scoring points. So, yeah, it's funny that people saw that. But obviously, knowing that so, obviously,
keep losing your sound there. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. It just kept cutting in and out there. Sorry.
Let me actually just do this. Oh, well, it's fine. It should be okay. So I've been speaking to Andrew. I was actually set to. They wanted me to fight in the States. Believe it or not. Yeah. But I kind of just put that on hold right now. I've got a demand, like they want me to fight in the States. I actually got offered the other day to fight in Dubai, but I put that on hold because, I felt obviously I wasn't ready just yet. And then, so I've been speaking to Andrew. We are set to hopefully fight in September in London.
Excellent.
So, yeah. So we're just in the finalizing kind of stage of just finalizing, confirming opponents.
Yeah.
Obviously, once that's been finalized and confirmed, I'll obviously make announcements. And yeah, man, and it's game on. Then we're back in the mix.
Excellent. I'm looking forward to seeing that.
I'm super excited. I'm ready to go. I'm still training. I'm back at training. So training's going well, feeling good, feeling stronger than ever. And also, like, I'm not fazed by anything. If anything, I've learned so much about you know, I've taken so much away from the last fight that, yeah, man, I definitely think the next fight is going to be so much different and if not more exciting.
Yeah, I'd heard that after the fight you'd done a lot to impress the American audience and things like that, and they wanted you to go over there. So I'm pleased that you know you've made your mark and put a stamp on that fight and showed what you can do.
No, I'm excited. Listen, I mean, like I said, I've had a few done a few interviews, obviously, with the States guys. They wanted to find out a lot more. There's a lot of interest there as well. I've been contacted by a few people. Obviously, they want to get me over there as soon as possible to kind of fight there. And which I mean, let's be honest, all roads lead to America. But you know, I feel like, you know, we can make a bigger name, a big name, if not a bigger name, and kind of have a good run. Okay, do you know what I mean? I feel like this is where it needs to be at. They need to come to us and fight us. Do you know what I mean? So yeah. So I mean, listen, if you see our boys, we've got some great talent here. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So our are stacked. You know, hence why if you see it's the UK versus the British guys. Do you know what I mean? Yes, I'm South African, but I'm not sure if you guys know this. Obviously, my dad's English, so I'm British. Half of me is English, right? So I'm flying that flag just as high as I'm flying my South African flag. Do you know what I mean? So I was born with my British passport, so you know, my father's English, like I said, so it's running through me, it's in me. So, you know, it's my country to fight for just as much. You know what I mean?
Definitely, mate.
We want them to come to us. Do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's not always about us going there. You know, we want them to come here. We want to fight in front of our home crowds. Do you know what I mean? So it's always nice to have a home crowd advantage. But especially now, which is good because I feel like after that last fight, I've definitely won over a lot of the UK kind of supporters. I've got a good fan base and a good support system now, and I'm just looking to do them proud. Proud, you know.
Yeah,
and you are.
I was talking to Jeff Houston the other night on a podcast, and I said to him they should do a card, UK versus the USA or USA versus the UK. Imagine that, mate. Picking 11 of the best fighters through the divisions of weight from each. That'd be unbelievable, that wouldn't it?
That is a great idea. Oh my God, that would be epic. That would be unbelievable. That definitely needs to be done. We need to push for that. 100%.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Like
the guys in our division, it's next level. Like, look at the boys that are coming up. It's insane, and they're exciting fighters. They're marketable. That would be a great idea.
Yeah, it'd be quality. Picking like the best fighters out of each division to face each other, it'd be quality, man.
Yeah, I see you've been putting some stuff out there. Who's the top 5 English guys? Who's the British? I was like, no, it's good to see. You know, it's not. It's interesting to see some of the names that have popped up there. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, no, it's good. It's maybe we should put something out there. The top 5 exciting guys to see fight.
I'm going to put that on, mate.
Most exciting guys.
Class.
I think a lot of the belts would come to the UK, to be honest.
Sorry?
I think a lot of the belts would come to the UK if that was the case, you know?
100%. Guys, like, we've got some tough fighters, man. Like, honestly, you don't get any tougher. Like, it is, we've got some of the tough boys. You know, it's so sad that for instance, Conor did how he got done, you know, and it's just so sad because he's an absolute warrior and he's such a skilled fighter and such a talent. But you know what? It is the name of the game. I personally feel like it was a bit of an early stoppage. I don't think it stopped. But no, that's just my personal feelings on the matter. Had it gone a bit longer, we would have seen the results.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
100%.
He's gonna be back 1,000 times stronger as well. And he's like before that fight, he was hard in the gym.
Did it more good than anything. 100%. Yeah.
I've got another couple of lads in the background as well. Do you mind if I bring them on as well?
Bring them on. Let's see them.
Excellent. Gareth, how are you doing, my man?
Good in yourself, gents. Thank you very much for having me. Another South African on the podcast. Jazz. Jonna, what's happening, bud?
The boys.
Aaron Blakey as well. How are you doing, Blakey?
All right, mate. Good, you? All right,
Yeah,
boys?
all good.
You all right, mate?
Aaron?
Yeah, good, mate, yeah.
Excellent. How things been going, Gareth? Are you well?
Good. So for those guys that don't know me, I'm based up in the northeast here, up in Newcastle side. Just to kind of follow on from what Chaz was saying about our fighters, we've got a hell of a talent pool up here, and I'm very, very privileged, I must say, to be coaching one of the lads through his S&C. So I don't know if you've heard of Lewis Keane. I know you two have. Lewis is my lad, and he is. Let me tell you, I am blessed every single day, gentlemen. Let me tell you, I have never seen somebody work as hard. I've coached swimmers, I've coached rugby players, I've coached athletes, runners, everything in my life. And I can tell you something now, even boxers back in South Africa out of 4 ways. So I don't know if you know that, Chaz. You know, I don't know if you were 4 ways boy, my bro, but one of the lads back home. But I can tell you something now. I can't even hype it up enough. Lewis Keane, what a warrior.
So his co-main event against Franz Suarez, isn't he? It's going to be one hell of a show. Lewis is one that's up and coming, and me and Lou did a program about him last time, didn't we? A few weeks ago, saying he's one to watch for the future.
Oh. Yeah, definitely, mate. He's
unbelievable. Quality. I can tell you something now, lads. I'm not gonna I'm privileged. I'm absolutely privileged to coach somebody like that. There's a lot of other lads coming out of Newcastle that are just absolute dynamite. I mean, we've had Danny Christie up here.
Red Bull, man. I'm looking forward to coming up and watching the boys.
Hey, please, Jazz. Anytime you want to session, my bro, I'll put you against Lewis. He's a hell of an animal, man. Honestly, we've got Robert Barry, we've got Mick Terrell, we've got Lewis Keane. Honestly, these guys are just pumping out absolute legends. No. Honestly, I cannot state it enough. So, yeah, very privileged.
Yeah, the legends in the making, definitely, aren't they?
Yeah, Chaz. I know. There's another South African as well, isn't there? Another South African who
yeah,
man.
I
know it's this man below's friend as well, isn't it? I think I was telling you the other day.
There's listen. There's it's no secret that I'm Jeremy the Poodle Smith, you know. What it is, everybody knows there's bad blood there. Everybody knows, you know, what's up. At the end of the day, there's bad blood. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. You know, he just released a new kind of. I see he just had an interview talking a whole lot of shit. You know, but you know what? I don't give. I'm sorry. Who the fuck for 51? I'm sorry. No disrespect, but like no disrespect to Houston. Listen, every fighter that climbs into that fucking square circle or ring
we've lost you again there, Chazza. Every fighter that steps into the ring, what?
No, I'm saying I respect you. I respect them. No matter what. I've got love and I've got respect. So I respect him as an athlete, but do I respect him as a person? Hell no. I don't like him. Never have, never will. I don't like who he is. I don't like what he's about. There's a personal history. So, I mean, we'll get to that later on. But listen, task at hand, like, I just want to get through my next opponents, and I want to make that fight happen as soon as possible. Hopefully, we can make it happen in South Africa because it'll be one of the biggest and anticipated fights in South Africa. That is, I promise you. I swear to God, I promise you, without a doubt. That's one of...
Excellent.
But yeah, like I said, I mean, there's so he came out with an interview. I don't know, a whole lot of shit. And then I've released an interview. I had an interview with another guy the other day. That's hopefully going to come around next week. Hopefully I'll release it. And then we'll just. I mean, listen, it's back and forth here and there. At the end of the day, it just comes down to he's game to fight. I'm game to fight. Let's make it happen. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah, so I think like after this fight, I'd like to make the fight happen.
Yeah, good to make that.
Obviously, you got your sorry, Lou. From a coach's point of view, let me tell you something. That will be insane. The pair of you are absolute nutcases. I follow you both. I follow all of the stuff you do.
Do you know a bit of back home, obviously, the situation?
My bro.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So I have to say, I spoke with Pitbull a few days ago. I did speak with him a few days ago, just basically post-fight, see what he was up to, how he was recovering, things like that. Because again, I'm on the other side. You guys do the ring stuff, I do the coaching stuff. That's my deal. But word on the street, whether you believe it or not, Chaz, he apparently injured himself in the first round, tore his labrum. So whether you want to believe it or not, I don't know. I give you guys the biggest respect. I would not step in the ring myself. That's word on the street. So I don't know if I'm stoking the fire a bit.
Oh, listen, whatever. Listen, I mean, you want to make excuses, make excuses. You want to fight. At the end of the day, if it's an excuse, if it's not, you know, if it is true, I wish him well. I wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he gets, I hope he gets back to normal and fight fit soon. That I don't wish injury. I don't wish bad. Like I said, as a professional, as an athlete, I wish him all. There's a bit of interference for some reason, but I respect him, bro. As a fighter, as an athlete, I respect him. But like I said, there's bad blood. It's personal. I don't like him. He doesn't like me. He wants to fight, bro. Do you know what I mean? As an athlete, I respect. As a person, I don't respect.
100%. But let's be honest. Just to see you two get in the ring, you're gonna sell tickets, lads. Let me tell you. I'll be there. I'll fly home for that.
Bro, not only South Africa. South Africa on its own, bro.
I'd fly home for it. I'm just telling you. I would fly home to watch that fight. It would be unbelievable. So yeah.
No, it'll be a big fight. It'll be an exciting fight. Definitely.
So Gareth, how did you end up in the Northeast then? How come you've ended up in Newcastle?
So I left South Africa. My father as well is also British. So I basically left South Africa because things weren't as good as they should have been. And there's a lot of kind of turmoil and trouble in our country, as Chaz knows, and obviously football knows. And it's quite sad. It's quite sad, but in the same breath, the UK has been very good to us. And I have to say, it's the athletes and the hidden pool that we've got here is unbelievable. So it's nice to kind of come here. But I came over here. Previously, I used to study in Newcastle. Prior to that, I was in New York for 4 years. And I came back to Newcastle basically because it was kind of the Geordies, friendliest kind of crowd, really nice. And I really enjoyed it up this side of the world. And essentially, I was training one day in O'Toole's up here in Biker. And Andy Davison, aka Big Ginge, and Baz Jones kind of caught a glimpse and said, "Hey, listen, you've got a bit of something. Can you come help some of our lads?" And I said, "Pleasure." So I now work with the pair of them. And again, I cannot, God bless, I cannot thank them enough because my career, my development, everything with them and working with these guys has been just a godsend. Absolute. I cannot tell you what joy it is every single day having this kind of the guidance. And I don't know if you're familiar, but Andy's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes here up in the Northeast. He's been really cultivating a good group of guys. Yeah. I would say the Northeast might become the new hub. And that's just me. Again, I see the one side of things, but we've got Danny Christie up this side of the world champion. Hello. We've got Christie up this side. We've got Terrell. We've got Keane. We've got Barry, who's up and coming. We've got all these lads. All I'm saying is Newcastle might be the place where some of you guys are coming to come train with us.
Yeah, definitely.
That's how I ended up this side.
It's great that the shows are coming, all over the country and going to different parts and things like that. And you see quite a lot of lads in the Leeds, Yorkshire kind of area. And like you say there he is, Blair King.
Exactly.
You're doing things down there with, Rico Franco, you're training with and things. Anthony Holmes from around that way as well. Morgan Starkey.
Talking about Newcastle, Aaron's fighting on the Newcastle show on the 1st of July. BKFC.
He certainly is.
That's right, he's up against Nadolski, isn't he?
Yeah, I've seen Nadolski fight against Liam Wilson on BFBA. He's experienced, isn't it? It's a good fight for you, isn't it, Aaron?
Yeah, he looks experienced, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be the test that I want yet. But he looks experienced enough.
Yeah, definitely, mate.
But it's a step up. It's always a step up as long as I keep getting the fighters and that. Like I said, I told you the other day, I want to keep knocking them down, but then getting the next ones that have got wins on the record. You know, you're not going to get. I don't think has he fought on BKFC, this lad?
No, not BKFC. No.
Yeah, well, I know there's a pecking order. I said that to you. I know there's a pecking order, but all you can do is keep winning. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it, mate. When I came down to see you the other week, obviously, you were, smashing it and training hard. Maybe Gareth can help you up in the northeast as well if you fancy coming up at some point.
Aaron, it would be my honour, mate. Let me tell you, I never turn an athlete down. I always love to
I travel about a bit, so I think I'm cool.
I promise you, I don't care what kind of training you've done before, anything like that. I'm always happy. I'm very privileged to have any athlete on my side. So if you wanted a session, listen, I don't know if you'll survive it, and that's my word. I'm not saying I'm a hard trainer. I'm just saying, there's some stuff
you're tempting me now. You're tempting me. But yeah, big shout out to that Lewis Keane and that Barry. I've seen a bit of them there. There's some boys then. Do you know what I mean? I agree. I think they're definitely going to make some big noise. And that Lewis Keane, I'm really looking forward to watching him. I'm not afraid to say that what I like from fighters. I've said this before. I'm just working my way, but I still look to these sort of people and think, yeah, they've definitely got it. They have. And that Lewis Keane's exciting, explosive. So
I'll tell you something, and here's the inside trade secret. Prior to me working with Lewis, he had never done S&C in his life.
Really?
He never lifted, never did any kind of heavy weights, never did any kind of real things, and he had this unbelievable untapped talent of being explosive, being lightning. I mean, I saw his sparring sessions with Christie, and I was nearly blown over. I went.
I was with Danny the other day, and he said he's very fast, very explosive.
Let me tell you something, Danny Christie. What a wonderful guy. Absolute gent. Out of the ring. He greeted everybody. He said hello to everybody. He was such a gentleman. I love watching him. And he was just, honestly, what he said about Lewis, I nearly fell over. As a coach, that's kind of something you want to hear. You want to hear somebody say, this kid's going places, because he's absolutely taken to this training. And this is not me blowing smoke up anybody's arse, excuse my French. But this Lewis has absolutely taken to this training like a dog on heat.
So Gareth, how many times a week are you doing that for strength and conditioning?
So prior to him starting his camp, he was doing quite a intensive weight program with me, working a lot of kind of getting his strength up for his size. Very basic in terms of the beginnings of your S&C program. You start with your strength, obviously, then your endurance, and then get to your speed. So he started with me about 4 times a week, something like that. We're just working a lot of his power, trying to get him really strong, which, again, wow, for his size, unbelievable. I couldn't believe that he hadn't actually done this before. That's how good it was.
What was he fighting at? What weight?
He's going to 70 key.
70?
That's what he's fighting at.
Wow.
So he's prepped. He's prepped for it now. He's got about 4 or 5 weeks now. And I can tell you something now. Gentlemen, I cannot express how excited I am. I promise you. I'm bursting because he is just about to start in his camp when he's going to start peaking. It's beautiful. Yeah. It's like poetry in motion here. So he's in with me. Now he's in with me about 2 times a week just for his kind of conditioning. We're doing a lot of mobility, a lot of other bits and bobs, a lot of explosiveness kind of getting into his fight now. And everything that he's had from the strength kind of part is now gone into his explosiveness. And gentlemen, again, I don't want to give away too much. You'll see a brand new Lewis Keane. And if that's something to go by, if you thought he was good before, I'm going to let you judge that when he gets in the ring. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah. As a coach and as a fight.
What's that, Chaz?
He fought before.
Lewis. Yes. He's done a couple of elite weight fights.
Yeah, he fought in BKFC. He had a couple of bare knuckle left weight fights as well, and he's won them all, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's won them all, and he's also fractured some guy's skull. So he's quite all right. I think he's fine.
Yeah.
He's young and fresh as a daisy as well, isn't he? He's a young lad. You know what I mean?
He's a young lad, and let me tell you what. Again, he's a young lad. He puts everything. I'll be honest with you. I have coached some absolute animals, boxers back home. Worked with some of the lads again from Fourways in the boxing ring there, the Kevin Larinas and all of them back in the day. You know, did a lot of that stuff. I have never, and this is no word of a lie, as God is above my head. I've never seen somebody put 110% in training. If I tell him to do 10 reps, he will do 10 reps. If it kills him, he will do that. And there's no excuses. I don't have to force him to come training. He's there every single day, like clockwork. He's there before me. I mean, it shows you my timekeeping. I think I'm on African time like Chaz, but, you know, it's something like that. Again, gentlemen, I'm sorry if I seem excited. It's just I am. That's it.
Good to see this from a coach. I'm more
As coaches and as fighters, how do you make sure that you peak at the correct time then?
It's a balancing act.
Prep, I would imagine. Like for me, I know my program, I know my body, I know my timing. So it just comes down to each individual and your prep. It comes down. You really got to know your shit. Sorry for my language, but you really got to know yourself, know your body, and also you've got to have a proper structured plan. I believe personally, you know,
100%. Yeah. You cannot. I'll be honest with you. It's a very big kind of balancing act.
Huge.
Because you can't focus too much on, for example, you know, let's take a very basic example. If everybody came into a gym, a powerlifter, a bodybuilder, an athlete, a CrossFitter, everything, they might all be doing the same exercise, okay? Which we all know. Everybody does a bicycle, everyone does a deadlift, everybody does these type of movements, okay? But it's how you perform them, what your rep ranges are, what you are trying to get out of it. So, for example, what Lewis is doing is not what a bodybuilder is doing. Okay, he's working different kind of styles and things like that.
Different intention.
Yes, with different intention. So, 100%. I can be honest with you. This has been a very, very interesting period because I've worked very closely with Andy Davison and Baz Jones, and let me tell you, those two know their shit. Excuse my French there. They know their shit. They are very calculated. They know exactly what they want out of this fight. They've instructed me, this is how we want to approach this fight. Get him ready, get him to this point, and just make sure that when we're kind of reaching this period, he's going to peak. And all I had to say was, no problem, gentlemen, leave it with me. So it is a very hard balancing act because you don't want to go too hard. Some fighters feel the need to kill themselves with cardio, and unfortunately they don't give themselves enough time to rest. A lot of people like that. Lewis is like that to a point. He will train himself into the ground and not give himself enough recovery. That's one thing
I've been doing that a minute, Gareth. That's whereabouts I'm at today. I spoke to Ross. Yesterday I was exhausted. I just did too much. Just my whole body, I just ate. I couldn't get out of bed, and I just did too much. But your head tells you.
As an athlete, we just want to go, because our minds are stronger than what our bodies are half. We don't realize that the recovery is just as important, if not more important. And the thing is, 100%. Then you find, and I've been in this position, you know, I used to train with the Smiths back home. I don't know if you know them, Garrett, obviously.
Errol, Peter, George, who's talking?
And, I trained like an absolute animal. I ended up fine because I could have kept on going in here. I could have gone till I was dead. But I overtrained in the fights. I fatigued. I was flat within the second round. Do you know what I mean? I had no legs, And the thing is, here we just got to realize that recovery, we have to force ourselves to relax and recover and recoup and get the right stuff in our bodies in there. So it's so important. So yeah, it's just so important not to kind of, like you say, cross that, go like cross that
training.
Yeah, 100%.
100%. The lads that it is a bit of a scary kind of thought, because a lot of the athletes that I've been kind of dealing with, speaking with, even some of the gents that I don't work with directly, you will see them in the gym 6 days a week, double sessions, absolutely killing themselves. And I've turned around and said to them,
"What are you doing?
When are you resting? When are you recovering?" And they go, "Well, I've got a fight coming up. I don't need to recover. I need to get." And I'm saying, whoa, gentlemen, understand your muscle needs to adapt to the training that you've given it. I'm not saying take a week off. I'm not saying go sip a pina colada on the French coast. I'm saying if you need to take a day, if you need to take 2 days, and if, again, Chaz, 100% there, my bro, on kind of what your structure is. If you're training legs on the one day and you absolutely hammer your legs, you know for a fact you're not going to be as explosive on the next day. And maybe even that second day, you might even be struggling. And if that's a sparring day, China, you're going to get out. You're going to get smacked. So you're going to get murred. So again, you know how it is. So it's very,
and then on top of that, this is the thing. And then it's about diet. It's what you got to. It's all about what you eat, what you put in your system, what you put in your body. So obviously, it's a whole context about, that's what people do. It's all, like you said, Gareth, it's all about balance, structured, 100%. Down to your training, down to everything that you eat, your recovery. It's so important. So I think
my father has an analogy which I always use with the kind of the athletes is, it's like the old Chinese plate spinner. Okay, so if this is your diet, this is your training, this is your recovery, things like this, you want to make sure all the plates are spinning. And if one starts to fall off, the others start getting affected too, because you focus on trying to get this one right. Yeah. It's all a very fine tweak. And again, diet is very, very important, especially, I don't have to tell these two fine athletes here about diet and how to make weight cuts and things like that. That's
who, me and Lou, are you talking about there?
Of course. Built like absolute Greek gods. You know what I mean?
I was going to say I'd take my top off there, but everyone will be calling me out, man.
Hey, Lou, you know what I've heard, bro? You can touch them; they're unsafe. Eh? You know what I'm saying? No, but I agree, 110%. It's a very fine balancing act, and again, I do have this kind of. I've had this fight before with other coaches from different gyms, from different parts. I don't know, Chaz, Aaron, you can tell me the same thing. There are coaches that have very old school mindsets on you need to be running 20 miles a day for X amount of time.
You're not boxing 12 rounds here. It's very different style of structure.
Exactly.
It's 5 2-minute rounds. It's very explosive. It's very so. It's not a rocket science it's not rocket science to tell you already there. It's a different style of training. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So I've been a boxer. I've boxed those rounds, those long 3-minute rounds. I've been there. I've done it. And MMA is also different. It's 5-minute rounds. But do you know what I mean? So, but it's different. You adapt to your style of training and fighting. So, it says it in itself. 2 minutes, 5 rounds. It is.
It's a sprint.
I did like a 20-minute workout with Danny Christie the other day, and it was intense, and it would make my heart rate was up there, and I got more out of that 20-minute workout than I did any others. I was done. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Training. That's where you need to be.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Emptying the tank.
Yeah, you need to literally give 110%.
So you shorten your recovery as you go, just depending on how far.
100%, my bro. So I found this, especially with guys that want to get into the bare knuckle side of things. You've got some very talented boxers that want to start, they see the likes of Lewis, they see the likes of Danny, they see the likes of you two, and they go, oh my God, I want to do bare knuckle. And they do the same old school kind of boxing training to say, but if I can last 12 rounds, and I'm saying, gentlemen, it ain't 12 rounds. There's 5 2-minute rounds, and by God, you will know if you get to that 5th round how bad you're going to feel. So it is interesting to see kind of between the differences between the boxers, between the bare knuckle lads.
Boxing.
Say that again, Chaz.
I said we're not boxing for points. We're not fighting. Essentially bare knuckle. We're not for points. It is what it is. We want to get out and get. We want to get in and get out as quick as possible.
The way I likened it is the old days when you had the 2 armies. Okay, now you could do the battle, you could do the whole war, but what they used to do is say, you give me your best, I'll give you my best, and that's it. Once it's done, it's done. So that's how I see the bare knuckle guys going. Get in, get out, go as hard as you possibly can, and give 110%, because at the end of the day, it's also about the fans. Let's be honest. You've got to be entertaining. You've got to have that entertainment factor about you. And I watched you guys yesterday, Lou and Ross. I believe it was yesterday. Sorry, my days are amalgamated into one.
Yesterday.
We had Connor and obviously Danny and the other lads on there. And I agree with him. You have to be entertaining. Now, again, I can't say that Lewis is a smack talker. I've never actually seen a smack talk or anything like that, but I know what he can do. But you have to be entertaining. And if you're not going to do that through hyping it up or, trying to talk smack about the guy, you got to do that in another way. And it's a balance. If you're not that guy that's going to be, the Brummie bomber. You're not going to be talking about getting your uncle in a headlock and your granddad. And all of this stuff. If you can't do that, don't do that. But then you've got to be entertaining and you've got to be exciting. And that's what I'm trying to say to some of these guys. It's a question. It's a question I've been asked. How do
when you watch Lewis Keane's post-fight interview at Newcastle? Because the Americans are asking him questions. He's like, "Yeah, I feel all right. Don't get in there. My hands are okay. I can have a wank tomorrow."
I wish you wouldn't bring that up. I'm trying to make it out like he's some, to be honest with you, he's down to earth. He's that type of guy. You can just say, "Hey, listen, how was your fight?" And he'll just turn around. I mean, even in his training, he'll just turn around. "How are you doing?" "I'm pretty tired." "Okay, I'm just tired. I want to go home." That's all I get. "Okay, I'll see you later, mate. Did you have a good session?" "No, it was amazing. Thanks. Yeah." "Okay. Cheers, my bro. Have a good one. Crack on." But no, he's again. I have to say he's
2 minutes, guys. Road's just at the door. I'll stay on. But
not a problem.
2 minutes.
Very very
Chinese. That Lou.
Yeah, he's a character.
That is a spicy meatball.
Oh man, and Aaron.
Chaz. We come to watch you when I was going to be fighting, and you're one of the reasons why my missus don't want me fighting. When we were sat front row, and your ear was hanging off here, and she looked at me and went, "You're not doing this." I was with my mum, my dad.
That was, what the thing is, Aaron, that was just one of those, I don't know, bro. It was just one of those by chance things, man. It just happened, I guess.
I bet you didn't really feel it, did you?
It's hard. It's a hard bone. And you know what the thing is? He caught me like unexpectedly. It was just, I don't know. It was weird. It was just one of those things. Listen, it's an industry you've never really seen. It's not something you'd see, but just one of those things that just happened. But I know it looked bad. It was crazy.
Yeah,
but they did a good job, man. They did a good job all back to normal now. Looks good. So yeah, no. It was, listen, like I said, like I was telling the boys, there was no structural damage. It was all just like, bro, you get tagged, you get caught, soft tissue, hard bone, like it is what it is. There's no gloves, no. So bound to get cut, To be honest with you, I think half of it, I stood in the pocket and I let my ego get the best of me.
Yeah,
like every time he hit me, I'd be like shaking my head, being like, nah, you got nothing, bro.
It was tough. It was tough.
Not realizing I don't have boxing gloves, so you can't take too much. But I remember he grabbed me and he split my eye open here. I didn't feel it. I felt him hit me, but then the next second I felt it like dribbling down here with blood. So I was like, okay, I can't be doing that again. Let me get out.
Change the game plan. Shit.
Yeah. But to be honest, like I was telling the boys earlier before you guys jumped on, I wasn't rocked. I wasn't shook. Not once that whole fight. It was just, it all looked worse than it was.
Yeah, it normally does.
Yeah.
Normally does.
Yeah, but anyway.
He was tough though, him. He was one tough guy.
Unbelievable. It's crazy. Listen, God only knows how he got up. First of all, I remember landing that left hook and I was like, nah, it's done. There's no ways. I caught that. You couldn't catch it any cleaner. It was clean.
Yeah. Didn't he go out and tell you it was okay?
And somebody's like,
So that wasn't it.
What?
You shot, bro.
It was hurt. So I was like, okay, I'm finish it in this thing. Catch him. I was like, timing it. Catch him. He drops. I was like, okay, surely you're going to stay down now. Nope. He gets up. I was like, come on, son. He's hurt. So I dropped him for the third time, and then he got saved by the bell, bro. I was just like, come on.
Yeah, good kid he is.
It was fight of the night for me on the Crystal Palace show. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. Back and forth. It was good exchanges. It was a good tempo. Yeah, man, it was good. I really enjoyed it. Listen, I'm more away from that fight than I could have ever. On good and bad. On myself, going through those. I'm glad I got those rounds in. Because it showed me who I am. It shows me what I can do, what I can. You know what I mean? So it's good. I wasn't hurt, but mentally it showed me a lot, and it showed me, who I am. There's not many that can go to the deep end. Do you know what I mean? And then it was good. I'm glad I got those rounds in.
I think that's what you're kind of looking for as well, isn't it, Aaron? This fight. I mean, you knocked the guy out in 23 seconds in your last fight, so I think you're looking to get maybe a couple of rounds, another belt, are you?
Yeah, I said that. I said that's the ideal, but fucking hell, if it was another 23-second knockout, I'd take that. But yeah, I do see. Like Chazelle, that you want to know that I know I've got it, but I want to go there.
Yeah,
I do want to go there. I want that little bit of a war. I told my missus, I said, I know it sounds stupid, but I want to go to war. I've just trained 9 weeks solid. I want to go to war. I want to come home knowing that I've had a good fight and I've won.
Pure athlete. Aaron, that is the mentality of a pure athlete, because although you are the best at what you do, although you can get in and absolutely smash it, that's the mentality of a pure athlete, because you want to push yourself to that level where you go, this is it. This is what I'm made of. Honestly, mate.
You have to, without a doubt. You have to. Like, you've got to.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm always sparring kids that are way better than me. And I get my arse handed to me every sparring, but I'd have it no other way. Because I'm learning every time. I think, fucking keep clipping me there, and I keep getting caught. And then next week you'll be like, I ain't caught you with that today. And I'd rather do that than go and fucking knock someone all over the place. It doesn't interest me.
No.
And as well, what I think, listen, I'm not planning on any losses, but I know along the way there's not many people that go unbeaten. I don't think in this sport a loss defines anyone. If you have a 4-round, 5-round war and you got picked, one shot took you off your feet, you're still a warrior. You're still like, fucking hell, the guy can fight.
It's not like boxing where the zero's so important for me. It's about entertainment and putting on a good performance. You give your all in there and put on a great fight.
First, any man, I'm sure you guys can vouch. there you can take nothing away from that. Nothing. Because you're fighting guys that are fit, that are strong, that are elite athletes with no gloves. My friend, I don't care who you are, I can take nothing away. That's why I say to you, I respect any fighter, no matter what, gloves or not, but extra if you step into that squared circle with no gloves and you're ready to throw down, because you pretty much got to make peace with the fact that you're gonna either break something or you're gonna get split up. Do you know what I mean? So you've just got to come to terms with it, that you're in for a fight. Do you know what I mean? And that's
form.
Not everybody got that mindset, those balls, all that heart. Let me just tell you something. So that you're already separated yourself from the rest.
That's why I think that them fights that I'm on about. I know this fight. I mean, Ross I should probably beat this kid, but you never know. But I know them fights will come. There's no need for me to rush anything. Those fights 100%. Against the top level fighters will come. 100%. I don't have to rush anything. I keep winning. There's no way or about it. Them fights will fucking come.
Yeah.
And
so I'm not going to rush it.
I would have been happy with a first round knockout. Trust me. I would have.
Oh, really? Really?
But at the same time, like I said in my interviews leading up to the fight, I said, if the early finish comes, I'll take it. But if it doesn't, I'm ready. And you know what? I'm glad that in a way it happened the way it happened, because it showed not only the world, but myself, that I was willing to go to the deep end. You know what I mean? So that's what it's about, boys, at the end of the day.
You don't want too many of them, though, Chaz.
No, we don't. I'm still pretty.
I'm going to say, you've got quite a pretty face.
Listen, I don't know how many times you want your ear bloody nicked, mate, but I'm trying to keep mine from my missus, You go step in the ring, I just try to fight the Italian inside, yeah?
No more of those. No more of those.
But no, honestly, Aaron, Chaz, it's beautiful to see athletes that will go to that level. And to be perfectly honest with you, it's exactly what you say. When you step in that ring, psychologically, it's already a win. It doesn't matter if you win or lose or kind of what happens in that fight. Obviously, God forbid anything, serious happens in the fight. You don't want that, but you want a war, and you want to see two of the guys. That 0, that loss, that win, yeah, it's a notch on the belt. But to be honest with you, I've never seen anybody at a BKFC fight afterwards for the guy who lost go, oh, geez, kind of, what are you doing, mate? You just say to the guy, geez, you were an absolute warrior. Whether it's 23 seconds, Aaron,
So what about, obviously you do strength and conditioning. Do you do any kind of mind coaching as well? And what about you, Chaz, as well? Do you do anything like, me and Aaron speak probably pretty much daily at the moment, don't we, mate? Yeah. And, talk about visualization, all those kind of things. Is that something that you do as well?
100%.
On a personal level, I do a lot of work and stuff by myself. I'm quite strong-willed. I'm quite focused. I'm very dedicated to what I do. I've been a pro athlete for a long time. I kind of know who I am, but when it comes down to kind of getting into the zone and into a certain mindset, I do speak to certain individuals that help with that even more so, more in the zone and in focus. So I think for me, to be a complete fighter, it's not just about a physical aspect of things. It's got to. I'm sure Aaron, Gareth, as you know, let's be honest, boys, fighters, we go into a different kind of mind frame and a different place. So we have to be very kind of, you've got to do as much work as you do on the outside. You've got to do it up here. So you've got to be strong mentally. You've got to get focused. So there's a lot of stuff that, like I said, to be becoming a all-round complete fighter, you've got to kind of work all sides and aspects, as an athlete,
100%.
Yeah.
There is a certain fragility to, I want to say, let's call it the combat sports, whether it's the boxers, whether it's your bare knuckle lads, whether it's your Muay Thai, things like that. I work a very, very specific psychology, and it is very important. With me, there is no negativity during the camp, and it's not negativity in the terms of being a realist, in terms of saying, hey, you need to do that, but I really focus on my lads' positive kind of affirmations, positive things.
Yeah.
There's something between me and Lewis that since day one when I met him,
Love. That's what it is.
Love. I love the kid. I absolutely love him, mate. Let me tell you, I'm going to run away with the bugger. But I'll tell you something. The first day I met Lewis, and I was introduced to Lewis by Baz and Andy, I said to him, right, you will be known to me as Lewis Champion Keane. And he looked at me and he gave me a bit of a look. I said, because every day I will tell you, champ, 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 champion, champion. I said, until you believe it, because you might not believe it now, but I see in you what everybody else sees in you. And until you believe that, you will continually be called champ by me. And it's that kind of positive kind of affirmation all the time. I'm not a very religious guy, but obviously I do believe in other powers. I believe in God. I believe in certain bits and bobs. I'm not in church every Sunday, so please don't get me wrong with that. But I do believe that the psychology, I do believe that a lot of the mental game is pretty much 90% of the fight.
100%.
Yes, you can do your conditioning. Yes, you can do your absolute, kill yourself in a session, whatever it is.
But if you don't
one of my biggest things is when you get in that ring, and this is maybe even for the people that are going to go up against Lewis, because I can tell you something now. I know this as a fact every single time. Have you done absolutely everything you could do? Because if there is any bit of doubt, if there is one bit of doubt that you said, maybe I should have done that extra rep, maybe I should have done that extra day,
100%.
That doubt that can make and break a fight. And I know
that's the way, Gareth, sorry to interrupt.
No,
that's
please.
where I'm feeling at the minute, and I know Chaz touched on it earlier. I've overtrained, I know I have, because my body's screaming at me like, shut the fuck up, stop. But your mind says, well, no, you're fighting. You need to just get through it. And like today, I could not get out of bed. And I was just like, fucking hell, I'm just run my coach. I was like, I can't get out of bed. He's like, you need to rest. I was like, yeah, I know, but you're probably just saying that. I need to fight. I need to keep going. So it's not all just plain sailing. You've got a lot to contend with.
This is one where I think maybe a bit of experience will come into play. Maybe
100%
on your coaches and that. But Aaron, you know the work you put in. You know your talent. You know your skill. It's about now knowing. So when you put in the work that you do, during the time that you put in the work, you're giving 110%. But then equally, on your rest days, you need to force yourself to rest, to recover, to eat, to whatever. While you're doing, this is my personal advice to you. If you want to, of course, when you're resting, take that time to go into a mental state of things. Go for practice, going into maybe do research on things, back, maybe record your training, your sparring, work on areas that when you rest and then back into training, then you can capitalize and then go in hard on. But it's so important to give yourself that rest, give yourself that recovery. 100%. But every can, with regards to what you take, what you eat, what you drink. But it's just so.
You're right. What you say, Chaz, it is experience. Like I said, I run Rico this morning. Obviously, he's one of my coaches, and he just said, "Mate, take a day off, take 2 days off. You listen to your body. If you wake up tomorrow, we're supposed to be training, and your body's just still saying no, take another day off."
Your mind wants to say, your mind's going go, 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 but your body's like no. But like you have to rest, because when you come back, you're going to come back 3 times stronger. Do you know what I mean? You have 100%.
To. That mental side, Aaron, to be perfectly honest with you, with everybody I've worked with again, and it crosses every level of athlete. We're talking guys going to the Olympics. We're talking guys that are stepping in the ring to do combat. Every level of athlete, there is always that psychological. My previous claim to fame was I was a swimmer. Okay, I swam for South Africa, did all my things with that side. And even then, those days when I was sitting at home going, I should be doing something. That is kind of the worst part, because you're thinking, I need to do
every
more,
day.
I need to do more. Instead of, you know what? Trust in yourself.
Even when I train twice a day, I'll come home and I think, I'm going to train twice today. I could do more.
Most normal people are going, what do you mean twice a day, mate?
Ross, you come down and see me train, didn't you, in the day?
Yeah.
And it was a grueler of a day, but even though when I get home at night, if it's only 7 o'clock, I think, well, I've got a couple more hours, I could go out and do something.
Pure
It was great to come down and spend the day with you, like I say, and we recorded some of your training. I've got some footage and things I've sent you, and for you to be able to watch that back, like what Gareth was saying, or what Chazza was saying, to watch it back and see what you need to work on and all that kind of thing. I mean, you're surrounded by great people. You know what you need to work on and those kind of things anyways, but it was a great experience for the day. And I don't know if you noticed as well, at the end of some of your drills, I was turning around to you and saying, hands up, champ.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it's an important thing. And like you're saying that you call Lewis champion, I just kept saying to him, hands up, champ, at the end of a drill. When he's, tired, it's finished, raise the hand like you've won,
It's that every time you step in that ring.
I'm super excited to watch you, Gareth. Absolutely a pleasure to see you guys. Guys, I've got to run. But thanks for having me, man. So nice.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Cheers, mate. Have a good night.
Best of luck. Thank you.
Ta-ra, mate.
But no, Aaron, I agree with you. And what I find, especially with a lot of the guys, you've got to have that confidence again within yourself to know you've put in the work, you've put in the things, and it's exactly what Chaz has said before. And again, it's something that Jeremy, I've spoken with Jeremy as well about certain bits and bobs about his training, things like that, because I love learning. I love learning from the different athletes, what they do. That's how I become a better coach. That's how, and again, at the end of the day, you're both warriors for stepping in the ring. And the way you do your cams, I would like to know how that is. That's how I get better as a coach, and that's how I get better in kind of training people. But that psychological of knowing that I have done what I've done today, and then having the ability to say, now I need to rest. Yeah. Now I need to. The best thing I can say is another analogy. Sorry, I missed the analogy tonight, gentlemen. My apologies on this. It's like a Ferrari. If you own a Ferrari, what are you going to do for that Ferrari? You're going to put the best fuel, the best oil, the best tires. You're going to look after it. You're going to clean it. You're going to wash it. Okay. You're not going to treat a Ferrari like you are going to treat like my Vauxhall Corsa. Okay. You're not going to treat it the same way. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to put the best thing. That's your body. That's your training. That's your camp. You're going to put in the best fuel, the best of everything. You're going to look after yourself, and looking after yourself also includes your rest. So you're going to rest yourself like you would a Ferrari. You would make sure that it's not being run ragged every single day and stuff like that. So you've got to put that mindset in and just be confident, because you're an absolutely amazing fighter. That is hands down. Nobody's questioning that. But it's that little doubt in your mind that I think as athletes you need to calm. It's what I see. You need to calm that little voice in the back of your head, because sometimes it's you just wanting to be a pure athlete. You just want to push, like you said, you want to push yourself to the absolute limit. There's nothing more beautiful than that. But you've also got to know when enough is enough and enough to rest.
Yeah, definitely.
100%, mate.
My battery's going to go on here, boys. It's 1%.
No worries. Appreciate you coming on.
I'll touch base with you. Nice to speak to you, Gareth.
Thank you very much.
Like I say, mate, I'll pop up. I'm going to go up and see Lou at some point. It's got a few bits that I'm going to be doing with my company and that with him. So I'll pop and see you, mate.
I would love to see you there. Just let me know, and like I say, maybe after the camp, we can do a bit of training if you'd like. I don't know about Rico. He'll probably murder me, Rico, but we'll leave it at that.
No worries, boys. Catch you in a bit.
Okay, just before you go, mate, obviously I've been talking to Lewis Keane and all that, and they wanted me to go up to their gym, so maybe we could sort something for when you come up. You can come up there with me to their gym.
Mate,
meet the lads.
100%. Yeah, like I said, I follow Lewis. He follows me, and I like what I see with him. Really good kid. Really, really good kid. And I told when I like going around, I'm new to all this, so I want to see how different people do it. In my eyes, I've got one of the best next to me, Enrico. I've never seen anybody train like him. But he also doesn't mind me going and have a look, see what people are doing. You can only get better by doing that.
100%. That's how you learn. That's how you
Yeah,
learn.
definitely.
As a coach, that's how you learn. If you're not learning of other people, if you think you know everything, I'm sorry, you don't.
No,
Even to this
definitely
day,
not.
I'm still learning. And
Yeah,
I'm
everyone will
grateful.
still work. Every day's a lesson.
Yep, student of the game.
That's right, brother.
That's it. Brilliant.
So yeah, give us a ring tomorrow, boys.
Yeah,
Yep.
we'll do.
See you in a bit, guys.
Cheers,
See
Aaron.
you later.
A pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you very
brother.
much.
Hi, mate.
Fantastic. Well, we've done nearly an hour. Is it all over an hour now? So
It's just me left, gentlemen. The last South African.
Do you want to give your company a shout and things like that, or anyone you want to say thanks to?
We're still getting a few bits and bobs sorted up because I've spoken with Lou about this. I'm not very good with social media. I'm normally always in the gym and normally coaching and things, so I don't normally get a lot of time to do it. But I do have an Instagram if people want to follow. It's at capo.training. And again, anybody's welcome. Anybody's able to reach out to me. Again, this fight, 1st of July, is going to be absolutely amazing. The card is stacked. We've got some unbelievable talent going on that card. I mean, so that's just from my side. I want to say thank you to the pair of you because I follow you guys. I absolutely love what you guys do. You are phenomenal. And like I say, as a coach, learning from what every athlete's doing and the questions you guys ask, brilliant. So keep up the work, guys. Honestly, I absolutely love your guys' channels. You do amazing jobs. Lou, I don't know about your fishing though, mate. I watched that, live stream you did the other day, mate. I'm just saying your kids were a bit better. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that was a bad day, that mate. That was a bad day.
That's what they all say. You know how much you caught. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, gentlemen, thank you very much for having me. I'm also going to shoot off. But again, keep up the amazing work. And at Capo Training, if anybody wants to follow me, and at Lewis Keane, do it.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much, man. Much appreciated.
Cheers, guys. Have
Thanks
a good
for your
one.
time. I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, gents.
Speak to you soon. What did you get? Chinese? Indian?
Well, I'm just going to be honest here, bruv. My daughter, after eating my food, she made me a beautiful little milkshake. Oh, beautiful.
That was brilliant. I appreciate you coming on, Lou. Thank you very much.
Not
really
a problem.
enjoyed that.
Thanks for having us, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries at all. I'll speak to you soon, pal.
Yep. See you later, brother.
No worries, my man. Well, we enjoyed that, everyone. I enjoyed that one, getting a bit of an insight into a fighter's mind and a coach's mind. It was good. But stay tuned have a look on Instagram to see what I've got coming up this week. I'm trying to get a few more, get back into the swing of things after having a week off, like I say. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Or don't, it's up to you. I'm only 4 away from 1,000. I'd like to get to the 1,000. So whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself and stay tuned. Like I say, speak to you soon, everyone.
For the fight fans joining us and the millions watching around the world.
Red Korner.